Today, we're making a rich, cheesy lasagna layered with homemade meat sauce and a Parmesan Basil Bechamel that takes it to another level. Can't wait to show you this one.
Alright, so this dish is all about building depth of flavor. And, really every dish is, but lasagna takes it to a whole nother level because you get to add meat, you get to add cheese, then you have all the veggies and everything that goes with it. And the nice thing, so one thing, you guys gotta stick around because I don't do mine with ricotta. So you gotta watch the entire video to see how I bring it all together because it's not the traditional way. I know some people use different things, but this is more an Italian route. And like I said earlier, with a little bit of a Cajun twist on it. And it's gonna really add some just overall flavor to it. It's gonna be so good. So I can't wait to really put this together and just enjoy being in the kitchen. This is my favorite place to be. So if you want to try something different, you want to get a delicious dish, this is what you want to cook. And you want to follow this channel. Just saying. This is where you want to be. Alright, so let me get the pepper card. I'm not going to use the whole pepper. So I'm only going to use just a little bit of it. And we want to make little individual strips. Oops. And then we'll cut those into pieces. And you want to try to make everything as even as possible. So very similar to how I did the pieces with the shallots. I want to do the exact same thing with the pepper. And just really try to get nice, even slices. And not slice my hand off in the process. I've been doing this long enough to not have to look, but I still prefer to do so. Guys, my wife is behind the camera. She's kind of freaking out right now, but it's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these carrots sliced up. And as you can see with the way I'm doing my lasagna, it's a combination of a mirepoix and the Holy Trinity. So I have carrots in it, also have celery, shallots, and bell pepper instead of onions and bell pepper. So again, a little bit of a mixture of the two, but flavor-wise, it's gonna be delicious. So carrots, the way I like to cut these is to cut them into logs like this. And that makes them easier to cut. But you want to make sure you cut down the middle first. And the reason why is because once you have it flat, you're not worried about the carrot rocking or anything like that. And then you can make some even cuts like this. And what I'll do, I'm going to run my knife again through these cuts because I want to make sure that, again, we have even sizes. So I'm just going to do a rough chop on those, but it just makes it a little bit easier and everything will cook even when you do it like this. So I'll come back to the other carrot, but I'm just going to show you guys the celery really quickly and just make sure we have that. So I'll cut off the ends, okay? Again, try to slice down the middle. That was not perfect, which happens from time to time. But hey, we're really cooking, so, it's not always going to be perfect. And then you want to get nice little slices. Alright, now we got some garlic. So we're going to smash the garlic cloves. Get a good whack on each one, okay? Just cut off the end. Move that aside. And in the same way you're cutting like an onion, make little slits. And you can make individual slits. And then turn it the opposite way so you can run your knife through it. But of course let you know, you don't have to do this. Honestly, garlic is one of those things you can just rough chop like this and really continue to get those small bites that you want. But this is typically how I cut my garlic. If I'm looking for a precise cut, then I can go the other way. But you don't need it. You definitely don't need it. Just cut it, and garlic's perfect. All right, I have to break out the Dutch oven.
So we're gonna get the heat to a medium-high heat, and we want to make sure we get it heated up pretty nicely. We're gonna throw in some extra virgin olive oil, and then immediately follow that with the ground beef. You can use any kind of ground beef you want. I'm using 80/20. And once we get that just kind of mashed up a little bit, I'm gonna add a mild pork sausage that is ground up, and we want to get those two incorporated together.
All right, so once the meat starts to brown a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and season it up. Always season high, gets maximum exposure. That's what the chefs tell me. Some Italian seasoning.
And it's gonna build a beautiful crust for this meat. That's exactly what you want.
All right, so now that I got the meat put aside, I'm just gonna add a little bit more olive oil to the pan. And I'll come in with my shallots. I'm gonna get all of that. And then also with my Holy Trinity Mirepoix mixture, get all of that put in. And then get everything mixed up. And then to help those cook down, I'm gonna immediately add salt and pepper. That'll help the veggies sweat.
Now we're gonna throw some garlic in that I chopped up earlier, and we want to get that incorporated nicely with the vegetables. This is at a good point right now. I'm gonna put a little spice in here, some cayenne pepper. Always gotta have a little extra spice. And once that's incorporated, we're gonna make a little well, and we want to come in with some tomato paste. And tomato paste is one of those foundational pieces of any good tomato sauce, in my opinion. So let's get that incorporated real well.
All right, now we're gonna deglaze with some white wine. And make sure you pick a wine that you like. This is a Pinot Grigio. Me and my wife will both be drinking this, and it just adds a nice depth of flavor into the sauce with the meat and everything. So yeah, just let that cook through for just a few minutes, and then we'll finish it up and add the other ingredients. Let this cook down, and as you see, it's coming along real nice.
Now that the sauce is cooked down a little bit, I'm gonna add the meats back in, and we're building layers here. Once the meat is in there, we get that incorporated with the current ingredients that are in the pot. Then we're gonna add our tomato sauce, and we're gonna get that mixed in real well. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's just, everything's coming together so nicely.
A little bit of sugar.
That sugar adds that additional sweetness that you need in the sauce. And again, you want to make sure that you season as you go. I'm a proponent of making sure I season as I go.
Unsalted chicken stock.
Now that we got that in there, everything is looking right. To add even more flavor, I'm building a bouquet of bay leaf, rosemary, and thyme. And that's gonna go right in that delicious sauce.
Our bouquet.
And I mean, man, look at that. Just coming along nicely. That's gonna build a nice depth of flavor.
Once this comes up to a simmer, we're gonna cover it, and then we're gonna move it to the second burner. I'm gonna make my bechamel. Now we come to the cheese, and let me tell you, make sure you grate your own cheese. This is some cheddar. We also got some Monterey Jack, and of course you gotta have mozzarella. I'm also gonna put some fresh Parmesan on the lasagna as well, but you wanna make sure that you grate your own cheese. I can only stress this enough. It's just gonna make the cheese melt even better. So make sure you grate your own cheese and get one of these. I'm telling you, my wife got this thing. It's super cheap, worth every penny. Saves me a ton of time. I'm not sitting there with the cheese grater, but get one of these. I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. I will link it in the description below. See what I'm talking about? No effort. And then you just pull it out. You got perfectly grated cheese. It's perfect. I know. Mind blown. Not really. This lasagna will be cheesy. Need I say more? Okay. It will be cheesy.
Now we come to the bechamel. We're going to start with 3/4 stick of butter. And we want to get that cooked down. Add in some flour. And then we start the whisk. And what you want to do is you want to continue to whisk this until it almost smells a little bit like pie dough, just a little bit. Once you get that in there, you're going to throw in a little bit of milk, continue to whisk. And again, it's all about building flavor. It's going to thicken up a little bit. You come in with some heavy cream. And this is something that you can adjust as you go. But man, it adds such great flavor to the lasagna. Make sure you season it with salt and pepper and get it to the right consistency. Like I said, you want it to be almost like a little bit thicker than an Alfredo is how you want it. Because you want to make sure that it's gonna stick to the lasagna sheets. Add in some Parmesan cheese and make sure you grate that Parmesan cheese freshly in there, and then finish this with some fresh basil. And man, this is gonna impact this so much.
We got all of our ingredients ready to go. Let's build this lasagna. So before we put this in the oven, I'm gonna actually cover the cheese with some parchment paper. The reason I'm gonna do that is so the foil doesn't stick to the cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some foil, put over this right now, get 2 sheets. And we're gonna get this bad boy in the oven. All right, let's go ahead and cut into this bad boy. So I'm gonna make a nice little split. It's been resting for a few minutes. And I'm always a big fan of the end piece. So we'll start there. Have me come on. That, I mean, that just looks fantastic. And then look at the layers. Oh man, gotta get a bite of this. I mean, oh man, look at that. Got the carrots there. Oops. Look at that. Just layer it up. I'm so proud of that. It's cheesy. It's flavorful. The pasta is cooked perfectly. And I use the oven ready pasta. I didn't make my own. I had before though. But for this is perfect. If you want to try to do this on a weekday, I highly advise against it. But over the weekend or with your family, if we got folks coming over, this is the one to make. So, like I always say, guys, on to the next one. Enjoy this one. Follow this recipe. This is the one. Follow this recipe.